Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Rap and Wrestle podcast. You guys know me. My name is Derek. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at RapnWrestle. Make sure you check us out on YouTube and Apple Podcasts as well. Just search at RapnWrestle as well. Today, a very special day. Got a very special guest with me. He's a wrestling writer for Blerds Online. Kwame Shakir, how you doing today, man? How's it going? I'm doing well, man. I'm glad to have you on. We've done a lot of back and forth. We talking about, all the wrestling that's been going on lately. And, I just wanted to get you on so we could, both share our points of views on certain things that are going on today.
Yeah, it's definitely a pleasure to be on the podcast.
Yeah, definitely glad to have you as well. So, we were talking before, I know you're a wrestling writer for Blerds Online. Can you kind of just go into how that relationship started and how you became, interested in being a writer for wrestling?
Well, I actually, thought about being a writer about 6 years ago. And then around, this month right here, like in 2016, I decided that I was going to become a writer. Right. And then as, time went by, I started taking it more seriously. And then in March of 2018, I decided that I wanted to be a writer for Blerds Online. When I reached out to the brother that wrote the site by, emailing them saying, hey, I would like to, write articles for the site. And, he replied, hey, send me an article and I'll see how much I like it. And if I like it, you're on board. And then once I got the reply back from him a few days later, he actually liked what I read and would like what I wrote. And I'm like, all right, I'm actually glad that I get to be a writer, for Blerds Online because I can actually, do so much as a writer on them.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I'm very thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good when you could, give your thoughts, opinionated thoughts on subjects, especially ones that involve, us. Do you remember your the first article that you wrote that you submitted to them to become a writer for them?
It was actually, I think it was like an anime related article. But the articles that I did start, the articles I did start to write for them in that first year of 2018 were constructively critiquing WWE, by the way. Okay. And one of the biggest problems that affects WWE today is the abuse and overusage of the stars of yesteryear. Yeah. Yeah, because for example, they typically bring them back around WrestleMania season. When we saw Oldberg on Monday night, but the ending was botched, by the way, because they were pretty much out of time. Drew wasn't even given much time to cut his promo.
Yeah.
And so the whole ending was botched, and I'm like, why? Why does WWE continue to keep going back to the old nostalgia well? To pop ratings and to boost interest for the big pay-per-view. Why?
Yeah. I don't understand because that it's like the same thing with Goldberg. It's like we liked Goldberg back in the days when he was destroying everybody. He had the undefeated record. That was cool. But it's like now he clearly does not have any shred of what he used to have back in the days. It's like he can't go anymore, and it's like it's getting to the point where he's in the ring, and it's pretty embarrassing to watch him in matches. Like there's no point to it, and we know what it's been like the same formula for like the past 2-3 years. It's like Goldberg comes in, whoever he's challenging, he beats the champion, and then goes to WrestleMania to lose to that same person over again. It's like they did that same thing with Brock Lesnar. He lost the title, and then they had him beat the Fiend and take the title from him. It's like nobody wants to see that. It's like at all. Nobody wants to see that. So I'm hoping Drew doesn't lose the title because Drew has been one of the good things that has been happening on Raw since all this whole pandemic started. So I'm hoping that they don't take it from him and we get the same old story that we've been getting with Goldberg for the longest.
Yeah. Yeah, because I used to be a huge fan of Goldberg back in the late '90s when he was dominant in WCW, and I know a lot of people tend to forget this about him, but much like Roman Reigns, Goldberg didn't come from the Indies either.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was homegrown, trained by WCW, much like Roman Reigns was when he started in 2010 in WWE. Under the developmental system, which I forgot the name of it. It was before the name became NXT in 2012.
Yeah, I know. Goldberg was at the power plant in WCW, and Roman Reigns. I don't know if it was OVW at the time, but I know he came through, NXT and all that stuff.
Yeah, man. Like Roman Reigns right now as a heel is the best thing that ever happened to him.
Agreed.
Man, he's the best thing on SmackDown right now. Everything else is just filler. But his story right now is the highest thing on SmackDown right now.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. And then it's so funny that this is the hottest thing that's going on, probably on all of WWE. That the best storyline that's going, and this is something that the fans have been asking for a pretty long time, for them to turn Roman Reigns heel, and they finally did it. And look at the success of it.
Yeah, because now, like when he does go back babyface, if he does ever go back babyface, he'll be genuinely cheered as opposed to being heavily forced to shove down the fans' throat from 2014 to 2018. By the way. Yep. As a babyface. Yep. Because Roman has to look. And the persona of a heel, man, and he's finally living it out right now.
Yeah. It's like when you see him, you see badass. That's the first thing you think of. Like he's a badass, and like why would you not let him just unleash him and let him be himself?
Yeah. Now he gets to finally be himself, the tribal chief.
Yeah. And
I'm very interested to see who's going to win the men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's that's interesting.
Because I know Daniel Bryan in it. He said that he's done everything else in his 10-year WWE career except for win the Royal Rumble. And I know he wants to win the Royal Rumble before he hangs it off. And another favorite to win is Big E.
Yeah. You know what's weird is that I've been hearing that they wanted to do Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan at Royal Rumble, so I'm guessing they're going to change that idea if Daniel Bryan's actually in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. There's like a 6-year story there because Daniel Bryan was actually the guy that caused Roman Reigns to get booed in 2015.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he was the guy that caused Roman Reigns to get booed because this was during the peak of Daniel Bryan's babyface run. Mm-hmm. And Roman Reigns was the type of, he was the guy that nobody wanted to win the Rumble. And when he did, man, that was some of the loudest boos I've ever heard.
Yeah, that I was that was in Philadelphia, right? I believe.
That was in Philadelphia. The Boo Birds were intense.
Yeah, no, I was at that one. I went to that Royal Rumble at the Wells Fargo Center, and it was crazy. That's when The Rock came out and saved Roman Reigns and all this stuff. And then, but it was nuts. Like people were like extremely mad because everybody thought that was Daniel Bryan's year to win it.
Yeah, man, WWE tried to use The Rock to get his cousin over and just backfired miserably.
Yeah, nobody was feeling it at all, man. And to do that in Philly of all places is that's like one of the worst places to do something like that because those fans are nuts there. Those fans are crazy. That place was crazy. That was one of the loudest places I've been in ever going to a show for sure.
Hey, you want to know another moment in the history of wrestling in Philadelphia? ECW One Night Stand 2005.
Oh man, I can only imagine that.
Man, that was absolute. Man, the crowd went crazy when Sandman came out to the ring. Man, they popped out of their mind.
Yep. Those were some serious crowds, and at that time, yeah, that was was that the revival of ECW?
Yeah, during that time, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because all the ECW OGs were there at the event. They only them.
Oh,
you know, Ray and Eddie them participating in the event.
Yeah. I got you. Yep, I remember that.
Yep.
That was pretty wild.
Yeah, for Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan, I'd rather personally have Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan over Roman Reigns versus Goldberg.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. That's what I didn't understand. That was another thing too. It was like I thought they wanted Goldberg was supposed to come back and fight Roman Reigns because it never happened at WrestleMania. So I don't know, what happened with him and Drew, how that even became a thing.
Yeah, Goldberg said stuff on Monday that made no sense. He said that Drew was disrespecting the legend, which never really happened. Yeah. It's like the whole promo was awfully scripted.
Yeah.
Like you can clearly tell that the dialogue in the promo was over scripted. It was awful.
Yeah, that's a pretty weird one. I don't know, but we'll see where that story goes.
But you know what? Like worst case scenario for this year's Royal Rumble. You want to know what the worst case scenario for this year's Royal Rumble is?
What's that?
If Goldberg wins it.
If he wins it, maybe he wins it. Maybe the Miz cashes in on him.
If Goldberg wins the Royal Rumble, people will be absolute furious.
How can he do that? He can't go more than a minute and 30 seconds in a match. They're gonna have to bring him in right at the end.
Well, hey, because of his stamina issues and because he's weak at his old age, he can't go no more than 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yep. That is.
But if he wins the Rumble through some bullshit finish, oh man, people gonna be furious.
Yeah, that'll pretty much be it. All right, so here.
And then he finally gets his big match with Roman Mania.
Yeah, that would be horrible though. I don't think I want to see that. I don't think I want to see that at all. If he wants a shot with Roman, he could. I mean, apparently, when you're Goldberg, all you gotta do is walk out to the ring and just challenge whoever you want, and you get a title shot. That seems to be how it goes with him.
Hey, because in WWE, nostalgia, the overexposure of abuse and nostalgia in WWE is massively, just notorious. If you want these old nostalgia acts from the past, well, you can always get an opportunity anytime, more so than the current roster.
Definitely, yeah, that's true. But I mean, I don't get it. They're in love with them. Some of the old guys they still could go, but the majority of them, it's like they can't do anything. It's like we need to just let those guys go, man. It's different when it's like you got somebody like Brock Lesnar that's coming in randomly as compared to Goldberg, who can't put on a decent match at all.
Well, the only decent match that he's had to have during this 5-year part-time run was against Brock Lesnar, ironically enough.
Yeah.
But other than that, all the gold matches have been downright atrocious, from The Undertaker to The Fiend.
Yes, they've been pretty bad, and it's I don't know, they keep at it with him, and I really don't understand the fascination with him. It's like, yeah, he's a legend, he did some great things in his prime, but it's like right now we gotta let that thing, you gotta let that go, man.
Yeah, because unfortunately it's kind of played out at this point. Fans want to see the current roster become stars being built up the right way, instead of just forcing the carriers for Goldberg or Brock or any other old timer that comes back.
Yeah. How do you feel about when they say you know, when they say wrestling fans, you know, that they complain about everything because, you know, they complain that Goldberg is coming back, but just a couple weeks, everybody was happy that Sting went to AEW.
Well, yeah, well, now I will say AEW hasn't really used that. They haven't really overexposed or abused nostalgia in the atrocious way WWE has.
True.
Like, yeah, because they're doing a good job of making sure that Steve doesn't get overexposed. They're having them get over Darby Allin, who's actually very hot right now as TNT champion.
Yes, definitely agree.
Darby Allin will greatly benefit from Steve mentoring.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that, and I kind of like what they're doing. And I mean, I don't know, I don't know if they're actually going to put Sting in a match. So I mean, we'll see if that happens. But yeah, I don't know, or maybe it could turn out to be. Maybe they might start doing some cinematic things because Sting, before he wanted to leave WWE, he said he wanted to do a cinematic match with The Undertaker. So maybe that's something they bring into AEW where he does cinematic matches. He doesn't do actual matches in the ring.
Yeah, he actually wanted to do one with The Undertaker, but Vince wasn't too big on the idea. Unlike last year.
I don't get it.
last year, cinematic matches were kind of like, a hit or miss.
Yeah.
But the worst cinematic match, or at least to me, the two worst are like the 2-0 fight and then the swamp fight. But the best one to me was the Stadium Stampede. I had so much fun watching that match.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one. Yeah, the swamp one I wasn't too high on. I thought that one was all right, but I really like the Undertaker and AJ. I like that one. I thought that was done cool, and I didn't mind. I like the John Cena one and the Fiend. I thought that was pretty cool, just seeing the different stages of John Cena's career and all that. I thought that was pretty dope the way they did that. Yeah. So, but I mean, it is what it is, and we'll see what they do with Sting. We always talk about, and especially with us, you being a black writer, me being a black podcast, we always look at things like representation of people who look like us in the wrestling business. How do you feel about black representation today in wrestling?
Man, black representation is very important. For example, my two favorite wrestling events were Black Wrestlers Matter and For the Culture last year. Mm-hmm. Man, the representation at both of those events was so phenomenal.
Yeah,
I enjoy watching both of those events. I would rather watch 3 hours of both of those events than to watch 3 hours of Raw.
Amazing. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, and Black Wrestlers Matter 2 is going to happen on Juneteenth.
Oh, that's dope. That's a good concept.
Yeah, and then I think For the Culture 2 hopefully will probably happen during WrestleMania weekend.
That would be dope too as well. I can't wait till both of those come back.
Yeah. And I know WWE, stated that they won't have any fans at the Rumble. I understand they have to be cautious because you don't want to, rush it too soon.
Yeah, definitely. You gotta be safe because there's, especially with things going up and down. Hopefully, things are getting better. They got vaccines going all over the place and all that. So I don't know. Hopefully, numbers are calming down. People are, doing what they're supposed to do, and hopefully we could get back to normal events and we can actually see each other at these wrestling events.
Yo, I agree. I definitely agree because, having those real fans, man, is something I've always loved about wrestling. Man, let's be honest, as much as I hate 2020, the wrestling scene, particularly the indie wrestling scene, took a massive hit last year.
Yeah, definitely.
Took a massive hit. There were so many shows being canceled. There were so many wrestlers canceled booking, and it was just absolute awful.
Yeah, it's bad. It was bad for wrestlers. It was bad. I have a lot of
Yeah,
friends that have their own companies that they're running over here on the East Coast, and I know just how
yeah,
bad it is. Like when you're setting up a show and you're paying for all this stuff, and then it has to get canceled. You're losing out on money, and talent is losing out on money too. Because there's a good amount of these guys that they make their living off of this, and they pay their bills and take care of their living situation and everything with this money that they make off of wrestling. So I know it hurt a lot of those guys.
yeah. It really did. And what's even worse about it was that there were many wrestlers that got bit with the COVID bug when they revealed that they test positive for COVID last
Yeah, yeah, that was something else too. That
year. Man,
it was hitting a lot of guys, and it's like once you get that in
yeah,
the locker room, man, it's like that thing is spreading.
yeah, man, like, and I actually spoke to, I actually interviewed, one wrestler previously, and she had revealed that, man, she's had at least 5 relatives that have been bitten by the COVID bug.
Oh man, yeah, that's pretty bad. How do you how do you think since we're talking about COVID and the pandemic, how do you think the companies, like mostly the main companies, AEW and WWE, were still running during that time? How do you think they were handling everything with the pandemic going on?
AEW was actually, handling the pandemic way better than WWE. WWE was way too lax and not really, just caring about, the safety protocols. AEW, they were like testing people almost like every week before the show, and they still do that, but
Mm-hmm.
it took many months for WWE. It took like 4 months for WWE to start testing people, and that is absolute embarrassing.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. You could kind of see like they were. It was kind of getting. It was kind of upsetting because it kind of looked from the outside looking in that they were choosing money over their employees.
Yeah, and WWE clearly has this mindset of it's all about the money.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was Vince McMahon's promo in 2000, and I remember that promo.
Yeah, yeah.
And that statement's so true, especially when they have these atrociously bad Saudi shows.
Oh boy, yeah.
Because most of us American wrestling fans don't give two fucks about these Saudi shows.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. They try to make it like it's like a big thing like WrestleMania, and then they're putting it on at 12 o'clock in the afternoon while everybody's working. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't care for this Saudi stuff, man.
Yeah.
This Saudi stuff that's only for them. They ain't for us, man.
And a whole bunch of and then you talk about nostalgic, how we were talking about earlier. Those things have just become all the old guys putting on the show. The Shawn Michaels, Triple H, they did Kane there, Undertaker, Goldberg. Like,
but,
it's like, what are they doing?
That Diaz versus Bros of Destruction match would have been much better back in the late 90s.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Like, the dude in Saudi as old washed up dads was just absolute bad.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty bad. So, I'll ask you this, all right? Because we can sit here, we could go all day. I know we could go all day talking about all the bad things WWE is doing. What do you think are some of the good things that WWE actually is doing?
Well, one of the good things is the Hurt business.
Agreed.
Man, the Hurt business is like, guys like Shelton Benjamin, you barely saw on TV. Bobby Lashley was in that awful, storyline with Lana.
Mm-hmm.
Cedric Alexander was getting lost in the shuffle. MVP, came along and told these brothers, I know the struggles that y'all went through, so I'm going to, help y'all get over. And which he has done a phenomenal job in getting these guys over and making them a legit threat, even bigger threat than Retribution.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yep. That's why, man. These guys look like $1 million with those championships.
Definitely. I love it too, man. I think they're killing it with them right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then I think that another thing that I would like about WWE is Raw gets cut back down to 2 hours, because that third hour is a drag.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they need to cut it down too.
Yeah, look, there's too much filler. There's too many promos and segments, and there's too many commercials on Raw.
Yeah, that's true. You get rid of those fillers, you get rid of those extra commercials, you can squeeze all of that into 2 hours, still have enough time, still make it exciting, and I think they should definitely need to go back to 2 hours.
Yeah, because when they started going to 3 hour permanently, that episode scored a 3.84 million viewers. Yeah. And ever since that time, they've pushed away over half of their audience.
Yeah. No, that's true. Don't remember how it used to be? It used to be back in the days, Raw was always 2 hours, and whenever it was a 3 hour episode, you knew it was something special. So it made you want to watch it. Now it's like they're killing how, the excitement of it, because everybody used to be excited. I used to be like, oh, snap. Yeah, we're getting 3 hours of Raw tonight. Now I'm excited for it to see what's going to happen. But it's like they're overdoing it now, and they're just killing it. And they don't need all of that time. It's way too much time for no reason.
Yeah, but we know WWE's not going to go away from that completely, because they made between $30 to $50 million a year off that third out.
Yeah. Yep.
Which I personally view as unneeded money.
True.
I'm like, why would you want to sacrifice the quality of the show for this S amount of dollars that you clearly don't need?
Yeah, and especially if you're taking out that hour every week, then that's going to equal out to that money that you're losing anyway. It doesn't matter, because you don't need it, because you're working less production.
Yeah, and not only that, the show feels so I'm talking about the 3 hour. On a 3 hour Raw, it feels so formulaic and so overproduced and overscripted.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And that's another one of the biggest problems with Raw. But at least on SmackDown, it's 2 hours. 2 hours is much more enjoyable than 3 hours.
Definitely, yeah, I like it. I like SmackDown. I really can't complain too much about SmackDown, about anything that's going on there. The only thing I would like for SmackDown, I would like it not to be on Fridays. I don't like, weekend wrestling. I feel like they could draw more if it was like a weekday. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I think that way. I feel like if it was on a weekday, it would be better.
The perfect night for SmackDown would be on Thursdays, because I used to love watching SmackDown on Thursday nights, especially during 2002 through 2005. To me, my favorite era for SmackDown ever.
Yeah.
Man, that era right there was legendary. You had Ray and Brock and Kurt and Eddie and all those other guys that are putting on, man, much more better, stellar matches than the folks over on Raw.
Yeah, definitely. I could definitely, Thursday I think would be a lot better. It's like Fridays, the weekend, people are doing stuff. Sometimes you just don't got time to catch something, because you could be doing anything. It could be family night. You could be going on a date. You could be doing something with your wife. You could be going out with friends. It's like there's a lot of stuff that could be happening on Fridays that you just don't catch it. And I feel because of that, like I watch a lot less SmackDown than I do Raw. And it's not even by choice. It's just because on Monday nights I'm not doing anything. Friday nights, chances are I'm probably going to be doing something.
Yeah, because Friday night you'll probably be either doing something, you'll probably be, hanging out with family or friends or something else. But there's a very high chance that you're gonna miss, SmackDown on Friday night compared to Thursday night.
Definitely. So, all right. So how do you feel about I'll tell you my thoughts on this after I ask you about it. How do you feel about WWE and, you know, the champions that they have right now? So, like, the majority of their champions are, you know, either black, or you have Roman, who's, you know, Samoan, and you have Asuka, who's Asian. So how do you feel about that? And yeah,
Well, hey, you know, hey, the one thing I do like, about WWE compared to unlike AEW is that there's more diverse representation among the champions. Mm-hmm. Even if they're not booked the best, like the Street Profits are not booked the best, and even Asuka's been reduced to a glorified cheerleader over the past, I'd say, 7 months. Mm-hmm. For throughout her Raw Women's title run. So and now we already know that Becky Lynch is coming back and trying to take that title. But then there's another problem. Charlotte is gunning for that title.
Yep. So,
yeah, because because when you have the same women gunning for the same title, that creates a complication of a problem in the Raw Women's division.
Yeah, and I think it sucks for Asuka, because I think Asuka is a very good wrestler. I think she's a good entertainer as well, and it sucks for her because it's like, with Charlotte being back, with Becky Lynch on her way back, that could mean trouble for her. That means she's probably going to lose that title, and we don't know what's going to happen to her. Maybe she falls back into obscurity of doing nothing, or maybe Becky goes to SmackDown, and then now Sasha has a problem. Now Sasha's losing the title, so there's a whole bunch of things that could be messed up from all these people returning back. Even though it is exciting to see they're back, the potential matchups that could be happening, but eventually that there's going to be these people that are going to be losing their titles.
Yeah, because we know they're going to have Asuka drop the title to either one of them at some point. Most likely, maybe either at the Rumble or at Mania.
Yeah. So, and something I look at with this, I'm happy when I see stuff like this. R-Truth, 24/7 champion, Sasha, women's champion, Street Profits, Hurt Business tag champions, Bobby Lashley and Big E, the Intercontinental and U.S. champion. The only thing that I hope that they're not doing is that they're doing this just because it's a hot topic right now. You know what I mean? That, the whole Black Lives Matter and everything that's been going on. And I hope they're not doing this just because of that, and not giving and just handing these titles to them, not actually believing in their abilities to be, good champions.
I have to agree with what you just said. I really hope myself that they're not doing it just because of that. So,
because that was my first worry with all of that, and but hey, hopefully we'll see where it goes, and hopefully that's not what they're doing, and because I like seeing these guys doing their thing, and I like seeing them at the top of the company for sure.
Yeah, man, Keith Lee, man, as bad as he's been booked on the main roster, he had a hell of a match with Drew McIntyre on Raw.
Yes.
Man, the Spanish fly he did on Drew McIntyre was sick.
Yep, it was good.
It was sick to the point. It was sick to the point that he almost killed himself when he banged his head on the mat after he landed.
Yep. Yep.
I was like, damn, man, you got to be careful with that. You almost killed yourself.
Yeah. He's just putting it all on the line out there.
Yeah, but the one thing I hate about his title match was that it was wasted on a meaningless episode overall.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That it was a pretty pointless episode.
That should have been saved for the Rumble than Drew versus Goldberg.
Yeah, I would have rather seen that at the pay-per-view instead of that. But I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they got big plans for him in the Royal Rumble. So I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I really don't. I don't think.
If they let Drew go over Goldberg, then that's going to make everybody happy.
Yeah, I'd be happy. I think that'd be great. I would like that.
And if Retribution beats Goldberg's ass, during the causing disqualification, people will be happy for once at retribution.
Yeah, no, that's true too. That definitely be true.
It was a scenario I just thought about.
Oh man.
Because T-Bar tweeted, "Would y'all like to see us kick Goldberg's ass?" And many people said, "Hell yeah."
Yeah, no, that's true. That's definitely true. I think that'd be the one time people would definitely be happy to see them.
Yeah.
How did you get a chance to watch AEW and Snoop Dogg's appearance?
I didn't watch I didn't watch Dynamite, but the Brody episode was very emotional. Compared to WWE's, let's be honest, not being biased, lackluster, underwhelming tributes to him.
Yeah.
That episode was very emotional. I couldn't watch the episode because I knew that I would be very emotional. I've heard many people on social media say that they cried so heavy during the episode.
Yeah, it was a pretty emotional episode for sure.
Yeah, I can understand what that little kid's going through because I lost about 3 relatives when I was a child myself.
Yeah.
So I understand the pain and hurt that comes with losing someone that you love at such a young age.
Yeah, for sure. Can only imagine, and it's a lot of good things going. That they actually give him a contract, and they want to work with him when he gets older, and I thought that was pretty cool of them to do, and they're still paying out Brody's contract to the family and all that. So I think they handled it pretty well, and I think they did a really good job representing Brody, in his passing.
Yeah, but the way WWE went about it, they were like, "Oh, Brody passed. We'll just do a little bit of tribute. We won't care too much for the guy. We'll just do a little bit bitty tribute, and that's just it." That's how they went about it. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, I knew that. We kind of talked about that too, and I don't know. I kind of felt like, let's say if it was vice versa. Let's say WWE did something that was really great. Number one, I didn't expect WWE to do anything really great because they don't really do anything great for anybody anyway. But then I think if they would have did something, then maybe fans would have been mad. Like, why are you taking that shine away from AEW when that was his home company? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there were, like, I will say there were other ways they could have did that.
Yeah, no, definitely. They could have, put together a package or something, a video package, something.
They could even did like an hour episode 24 on the network.
Yeah, I think the thing. I will give them credit. I think they did do something like that. I think they had some Brody Lee special that they did drop that day. So I believe I want to double check on that, but I'm pretty sure that they did. I didn't get to watch it, but I did see them post something about the WWE Network and about something that they had dropped special for him. So they did that part. They just didn't do anything on the actual show itself.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully this 24 documentary on him will actually be available on the network soon.
Yeah, and this episode that they did recently was when Snoop Dogg made his appearance, and we all saw the clips of him online flying off of the top rope. It wasn't the best splash in the world, but he tried his best, so it was entertaining to say the least. I'll give him that part.
His cousin Sasha Banks, saw the clip and tweeted, "Hey, cuz, we got to work on that." The splash was so bad, but it was so hilarious at the same time. I couldn't help but to laugh at it.
Oh man, yeah. It was crazy, man. I was like, what?
I think Snoop kind of did this before the show.
Uh-huh.
It was a song. I remember one of his most famous songs. It was a collaboration that he did with Dre and Nate Dogg back in the day.
Uh-huh.
You want to know what that song is?
Which one are you talking about?
Smoke weed every day.
Oh yeah, yep.
Man, that's one of his most famous songs to date.
Oh man, that's crazy.
He had to have gotten hot for the show.
I mean, that's always. I don't think there's a time he isn't like that. But you know, the funniest part is like he was up there and he's telling the guys to move him closer so he could jump on. I'm like, Snoop Dogg is like 6'5". It's like, why the hell you need to move the guy closer? They need to be moving him farther. I think that's what made the.
Yeah, hey, he did look. You know, he kind of look. Damn, what's that word? Yeah, he was very anxious, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked kind of nervous, and there was, you know, some hesitation on, you know, before and during the move.
Yeah, the rope was shaking and everything, but hey. It was entertaining. You can say that, man. Everybody tuned in for it, and everybody was retweeting it and everything, talking about it. So he did his job. That was what he was supposed to do.
Hey, at least his debut was better than Matt Seidel's debut.
No, yeah, definitely. That's a fact.
Because when Matt Seidel debuted, when he tried to do a move from the top rope, man, he nearly killed himself.
Yeah, he done slipped off the rope. Yeah, it almost. Yeah, that was bad. That was pretty bad.
No,
but
that's the one takeaway from Snoop's debut on Dynamite was that it was better than Matt Seidel.
Yeah, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. Even as funny as it was, I'll give him that one. How do you think? So, what do you think about kind of like that connection between like, you know, hip hop and wrestling as well? You think it would be smart for them to, you know, partner up with some of these, you know, hip hop artists and bring some of them in? You know, WWE kind of had their thing going with Cardi B the other day when she was tweeting back and forth with some wrestlers. Now we got Snoop Dogg actually getting in the ring here. Do you think it's a good idea to do something like that?
Well, you know, there's always been a correlation between music and wrestling. That's always been a 30-plus year relationship dating back to the rock and wrestling era of the mid-1980s. Mm-hmm. You know, there have been plenty of musical artists that appeared at wrestling shows like, you know, Limp Bizkit, by the way, appeared at WrestleMania. Yep. You know, Insane Cloud Posse appeared at WCW. One of my favorite performances on live wrestling TV was between Master P and No Limit performing on an episode of Nitro on the June 21st, 1999 episode in New Orleans, by the way, because No Limit was still hot at that time. Yep. They did a lot of performances on Nitro, man. I loved it.
Yeah, the No Limit Soldiers.
Yep. And then they were, I remember they were also in the storyline with the Healer stable West Texas Redneck.
yeah. And Kurt Hennig, and he had his song he made that I Hate Rap.
Man, that was funny as hell, man.
that was hilarious.
That was just such an hilarious song to laugh at.
Yeah, that was a funny rivalry between those two cliques as well. Oh man. So besides WWE and you know we talked about AEW as well. What other wrestling are you watching? Are you watching Impact, Ring of Honor, MLW, stuff like that?
Yeah, you know, I've been watching plenty of indie matches. I would say like last month I watched the most wrestling matches I've ever watched in a day in my entire life. I watched 10 wrestling matches in a day. Oh, man. And here's the kicker about it. All of them were women's matches.
Nice.
On the indies.
Nice. Yeah. The women are killing it right now, man.
Like this right here is definitely the peak of women's wrestling, you know. You know, because women's, wrestling has evolved from, the raunchy stuff to the more serious stuff.
Yeah. Women are giving their shot, and they're showing that they can do it just as good, if not even better than the men do it.
Yeah, for example, in WWE, some of the women's matches are better than the men's matches on the main roster.
Yeah, totally agree.
The perfect example of this, Hell in a Cell 2019, Sasha and Becky was better than all the men's matches on this show.
Yeah, that I could agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
And then women are continuously killing it, and I know they're going to keep killing it. And I think honestly, if you look at especially like WWE, for them, I think through this pandemic, you can see like Bailey, Sasha, Asuka, even when they had the Kabuki Warriors, when Sasha was with her partner, Asuka was with her partner. Like the women were like holding up the company during that time. Like they were definitely making, like, they were the most entertaining things on TV the whole time that we were at home during quarantine.
Yeah, Bailey and Sasha, man, pretty much carried the entire company on their back throughout that entire year of 2020. And even during Roman's absence, they were still carrying the company.
Yeah.
You know, there were, like, I would say outside that, the worst women's segment of last year, at least in WWE, was that god awful karaoke segment.
Yeah, that was the worst thing ever. I don't even know. That reminded me of the old days of the BS that they used to do with the women.
Yeah, the searches, man, and stuff like that. I'm like, man, nobody want to see that shit in 2020, man.
Nah. I get the entertainment aspect, but that was pretty bad.
Yeah, man, that segment was cringe-worthily bad.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm like, hopefully we won't see that shit again.
Definitely.
But yeah, last night, Rhea Ripley pretty much had her swan song in NXT when she put over Raquel Gonzalez, who's been really hot, man, since the women's War Game match. And I saw that match, I loved it.
Yeah, yep. I thought that was a great match. That was a great match.
Man, that was phenomenal, man. Raquel Gonzalez, she was the breakout star of that match, man. She kept, man, Io Shirai out of the cage for over 10 minutes in the match.
Yeah.
And then for
to
pin Io Shirai clean, wow.
Yep. I think she definitely has a bright future ahead of her, man. She has a great look, a lot of talent, and I know there's going to be a lot of good things coming for her this year.
Oh yeah.
Can't wait to definitely see what happens there.
Yeah, she definitely beat Rhea Ripley, and supposedly Rhea Ripley's swan song from NXT, by the way. Because she could definitely be here in the Women's Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. I can see that. I can see the workings already, man. You know, they putting her in the Royal Rumble. Charlotte wins the title before then. Then they're setting back up for Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte at WrestleMania, this time for the Raw Championship. I can see that happening.
Yeah, I don't want to see another Oscar versus Charlotte match, especially at Mania. We already seen the Oscar Charlotte feud be so played out.
Yeah.
And I certainly don't want to see Oscar versus Becky either.
Yeah, I don't want to see that either. But yeah, you got to know that you got to know that she's coming back for Oscar because she just handed the title to her. So, you know, she has to get her title match.
Yeah, so I'm like, no, I'm not too keen on that idea either.
Yeah, definitely. Let me ask you too. You know, I'll start asking you my last couple of questions, but when it comes to we were talking about Legends Night, and there was a lot of news around Hulk Hogan and the response that he was getting from some of the younger wrestlers in the locker room, and he's saying they were being cold towards him, and I kind of felt like I know you made a post about it, so I'll let you say your point on it, but I kind of felt like he was kind of I don't know, he was kind of like he was like shading what he was trying to say, because he was like, oh, the younger guys, I think they're being cold to me because they don't really know who I am and stuff. I was like, what? I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, everybody knows who Hulk Hogan is. You know why they're showing you, they're being cold to you. Like, why are you avoiding what?
Yeah, you know, the way he answered it came off as very condescending and disingenuous.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows who the man is. The reason why the young guys don't want to mess with you, let's be honest, Hulk Hogan is a has-been. He played out. Nobody wants to see him anymore. Nobody cares about the guy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's the basic, simple answer I can come up with for that question.
Definitely. Not to mention his racist statements on top of it too.
Yeah. You know when WWE reinstated him, I think in 2018, and you know he went to the backstage at Street Rules that year trying to apologize, and the black wrestlers back there were not having any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they called to bust him off and said, "Fuck out of here."
Crazy. See, I don't know. That's something I always kind of thought about too. Because I felt like, now in 2020, we're highly represented in the sport of wrestling, and I felt like a lot of those years we weren't. So I felt like, as of being a fan and as black wrestlers in the business as well, we kind of like let a lot of stuff slide. So it's like a lot of stuff was done back in the days we let slide. Even like right now, I feel kind of like with the Hulk Hogan thing, like a lot of it is being let, they're letting it slide, and not black wrestlers in particular, because we're actually speaking out on it. But, like WWE is letting it slide. Things that happen, they talked about, Tessa Blanchard and situations she had. I feel like that wasn't never fully addressed. We let that slide, and Tessa will come back and everybody accept her, no problem. Like, there's a lot of things, and I feel like there's way too many. If it doesn't pertain to, assaulting a woman or assaulting a child, if it has to do with race, I feel like we let that slide too much.
Yeah, and I think that needs to change. Anybody who, did something wrong, should not be given preferential treatment. They should, definitely pay for it. There needs to be some type of consequence for that.
Definitely.
So, nothing should ever, be left unchecked.
Definitely. No, I totally agree on that. And, definitely wrestling is changing for the better. I think the wrestling community as a whole, I think has improved a lot. And, even with just relationships that I have with the different people of different backgrounds that I have, and, I enjoy it. I feel like wrestling is probably, the only sport where so many different people of different backgrounds, different opinions, different views, like we come together to, with our love of this sport of wrestling.
Yeah, just like, John Mosser said the other day, wrestling is not just a sport, it's a community.
Yeah, that's true.
And, yeah, because, for many of us, wrestling, helps us escape, real life issues, whether it be like personal issues, emotional issues. It also helps, alleviate mental issues that we may have. And, many people have even credited wrestling for saving their lives.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
And so that right there, those are some of the most amazing things about, wrestling when it comes to us as fans.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, I kind of think that's kind of how it ties in too as well, is that, we love wrestling so much, and we think of all the things that wrestling has done for us, individually, just the things, like you said, saving some people's lives. And then when bad things happen in it kind of hurts you. That's something so bad. Like the thing, like even when I talk about Hulk Hogan, like that hurts me because Hulk Hogan was a childhood superhero for a lot of kids my age coming up. So when you see somebody that you looked up to all that time, and then you hear him say something on a recording so bad about people that look like you, that just hurts you so bad.
Yeah, it hurts you to the point where it makes you not be a fan of his anymore. It's like, okay, I was a fan of yours for all these years, but once you say something like that, you pretty much tarnish your legacy, at least outside of wrestling, in my eyes.
Definitely.
The impact that he's had on the business will never be tarnished.
Yes.
But his legacy outside of it has been tarnished.
Yep. Totally agree. Totally, definitely agree. But it was this talk is great. Like I said, we could go on for hours and hours and hours talking about this. And I definitely I want to hook up again in the future with you, and we'll set something up on that end. But as far as you, like, on social media, where people could check out, your writings on wrestling and stuff like that, how would fans be able to do that?
Just go to Blerdsonline.com if you want to, check out articles about, wrestling related, topics and issues that I talk about.
Perfect. Awesome. And that's Blerds, Blerds online.com, right?
Yeah.
Blerdsonline.com. And Kwame, man, I thank you so much for coming on, taking the time. We worked through the technical difficulties. We got it going. So I appreciate you taking the time and coming on and talking with me tonight.
Sure thing, man.
Definitely. And that's Kwame. Make sure you check out his writings. Like you said, blerdsonline.com. You could definitely follow us at RapnWrestle on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Check us out on Apple Podcasts. Check this episode out on YouTube as well, and all of our other episodes. And for this episode, it's Derek, it's Kwame, and we are out.